Welcome back, everyone. We are diving into a text today that sits just outside the usual religious thought. The Book of Enoch, maybe you've heard of it, maybe in connection with the Dead Sea Scrolls. That's where it was rediscovered.
Right.
And it's a book that's got a lot of intrigue around it.
Yeah.
Because even though it was once considered sacred, it was left out of the Bible.
Yeah, it's
I'm curious.
Yeah, why is that? What could be so explosive that it was left out of what we now consider to be the canonical scriptures?
Well, the book claims to hold secrets, revealed directly to Enoch, who was Noah's great-grandfather.
Right.
And it paints a different picture of the events leading up to the Great Flood.
Okay.
A picture that involves beings called the Watchers. Interesting. So not just a different perspective on a familiar story, but a whole new set of characters.
Yeah.
With their own motivations and actions.
Precisely. The Book of Enoch presents these watchers as angels who descend to earth and engage with humans in ways that angered God in those interactions. They had some pretty significant consequences, including the birth of giants, known as the Nephilim.
Okay, hold on. Angels interacting with humans. That is a far cry from what we traditionally think of. When we picture ethereal beings floating on clouds, what were they doing that was so taboo?
The Book of Enoch suggests they were captivated by human women and chose to break rank, going so far as to take human wives.
Oh, well.
But even more than that, they shared forbidden knowledge, celestial secrets, and perhaps even advanced technologies, much like the story of Prometheus giving fire to humankind, but on a much grander scale.
So this wasn't just a case of star-crossed lovers.
No.
It was a breach of cosmic law, a sharing of power that was supposed to remain hidden.
Exactly. It's like giving a child a weapon without them understanding its potential for destruction.
Right.
These actions disrupted the natural order, upset the hierarchy of heaven and earth, and ultimately angered God.
And it sounds like those consequences were more than just a slap on the wrist. You mentioned giants, the Nephilim.
Yes. The union of the Watchers and humans resulted in these offsprings, the Nephilim, who were described as immensely powerful giants. They weren't exactly known for their peaceful coexistence with humanity.
Oh, no.
Their presence on Earth brought chaos and destruction.
Giants wreaking havoc.
This is giving me major mythology vibes. It reminds me of Greek myths, Norse legends. It all feels very interconnected. Are there other ancient texts that echo these themes? You're picking up on something very interesting. The story of the Watchers and the Nephilim has remarkable parallels with myths from other cultures, most notably the Sumerian tales of the Anunnaki.
Okay.
They were powerful deities who, according to Sumerian texts, descended from the heavens and played a crucial role in shaping human civilization.
The Anunnaki. I've always found them incredibly intriguing. So we have these Watchers from the Book of Enoch and the Anunnaki from Sumerian tradition, both linked to advanced knowledge, both interacting with humans. It's almost too much of a coincidence. Could they be different names for the same beings?
It's a question that has puzzled scholars for centuries. On one hand, you have the Watchers, described as rebellious angels, and on the other, the Anunnaki, often depicted as deities involved in the creation of humankind itself. But the similarities are definitely hard to ignore.
And both are credited with sharing their knowledge, and in some cases, their technology with humans.
Exactly. For example, the Sumerians credited the Anunnaki with teaching them astronomy, agriculture, and the arts of civilization.
Wow.
Similarly, the Watchers in the Book of Enoch shared forbidden knowledge that rapidly advanced human capabilities.
It's fascinating. The parallels are undeniable. Advanced knowledge, interactions with humans, shaping civilizations. It makes you wonder if there's a shared memory embedded in these ancient cultures, an echo of contact with beings beyond our current understanding.
It's a tantalizing possibility, isn't it?
It is.
And it leads us to a fundamental question. Were these stories merely myths, attempts to explain the unknown? Or could they contain a grain of truth? A hidden history that challenges our very understanding of humanity's place in the cosmos.
That is definitely a lot to unpack. But before we go full ancient aliens, let's bring it back to Enoch himself. He wasn't just a passive observer in all of this, was he? He gets his own book.
You're right. Enoch wasn't just a bystander. He was chosen, a conduit between heaven and earth. Imagine being tasked with delivering messages between rebellious angels and God himself.
Right.
Talk about pressure.
It's like being stuck in the middle of a family feud, but with cosmic level stakes. So what happened to Enoch? Did all that time with angels change him?
That's where his story takes a truly remarkable turn. According to certain traditions, Enoch's connection to the divine, it went beyond just meeting with angels. He actually became one.
Wait, what? He transformed into an angel.
That's right. The Book of Enoch and related texts suggest that he ascended to heaven, shed his mortal form, and emerged as the angel Metatron.
So it's not just about these powerful beings influencing humanity, but about the potential for humans to undergo a profound spiritual evolution.
Precisely. Enoch embodies that potential. His story suggests a path of spiritual growth and transcendence, a path that, according to these texts, leads to the ultimate union with the divine.
That's a pretty mind-blowing concept, a blueprint for spiritual evolution hidden within these ancient writings. But what about the knowledge Enoch supposedly received?
Yeah.
What happened to all those secrets of the universe?
Yes. Enoch's story doesn't end with a simple ascension. It's said that he was granted access to profound knowledge, astronomy, cosmology, the very workings of the universe. Some even believe he gained insight into forms of energy and forces we haven't even begun to comprehend.
Wow, okay, that's next level stuff.
Mm.
So what became of all that knowledge? Did it ascend with him when he became Metatron?
That's a question that has fueled countless theories and speculations. Some believe that this knowledge was woven into esoteric traditions. Think mystery schools, secret societies, and oral lineages stretching back through history. Others theorize it's encoded within ancient texts and monuments, waiting to be deciphered by those who know how to look.
It's like a cosmic treasure hunt with knowledge as the ultimate prize. It's like something out of a Dan Brown novel. But seriously, when you look at the accomplishments of ancient civilizations, like the Egyptians with their pyramids aligned to celestial bodies, or the complex astronomical knowledge encoded in places like Stonehenge, it does make you wonder if they were tapping into a source of wisdom beyond their time.
It certainly raises some compelling questions. What if our understanding of history is incomplete? What if those who came before us possessed insights into the cosmos that we're only now beginning to rediscover?
It's certainly a humbling thought. But we have to be honest with ourselves. We're dealing with ancient texts, interpretations, and a fair amount of conjecture. It's not like we have concrete proof of alien astronauts building the pyramids.
You're right, of course. While the Book of Enoch and other ancient texts offer tantalizing glimpses into a past that may be far more complex than we realize, we have to be careful not to mistake speculation for conclusive evidence. It's a balance, approaching these texts with a sense of wonder and open-mindedness, while still grounding ourselves in critical thinking.
Absolutely. We can appreciate the mysteries and allow ourselves to explore the what-ifs, without losing sight of the need for careful examination and interpretation. After all, isn't that what makes deep dives like this so fascinating?
Exactly. The Book of Enoch, with its blend of history, mythology, and spiritual teachings, invites us to consider different perspectives and grapple with questions that have resonated throughout human history.
It really is a delicate dance, trying to hold the mystery and the skepticism at the same time, like acknowledging that we don't know everything, but still being open to the possibilities.
It's a dance worth learning, though, because it's when we come at these ancient texts with more curiosity than a need for concrete answers that we really open ourselves up to new ways of seeing things.
So where does this leave us? We've gone through ancient texts, encountered rebellious angels, thought about the existence of giants, and grappled with the implications of forbidden knowledge being passed down for millennia. What's the takeaway for someone listening who wants to do their own deep dive into the Book of Enoch?
Well, the Book of Enoch, whether you read it literally or metaphorically, it challenges us to think outside the box. It encourages us to consider that maybe there's a deeper, more interconnected history than we thought possible.
It's like finding a secret passageway in your house that you've lived in your whole life, and it leads to this whole other wing, full of mysteries.
And while we may never completely solve all the mysteries, just the act of exploring them can be transformative. The Book of Enoch, with its mysterious stories and deep questions, it just invites us to broaden our understanding of the cosmos and our place in it.
It reminds us that history, myth, and spiritual truth are often intertwined, and that just because we think something's impossible doesn't mean that it is.
Exactly. And who knows? Maybe hidden within these stories are clues to better understanding who we are, where we came from, and the forces that have shaped our world.
This has been a really thought-provoking conversation, and hey, maybe it'll inspire some listeners to go check out the Book of Enoch themselves and explore that world for themselves.
It certainly has been a fascinating exploration, and as with any deep dive, it leaves us with more questions than answers, which I think is a good thing.
It is.
A renewed sense of wonder.
Yeah.
And a reminder that learning is a lifelong pursuit.
Well said. And on that note, until next time, keep exploring.